If you're someone that needs a little bit of guidance, if you want to learn from somebody who made a lot of mistakes in life, but still was able to overcome, you're at the right place. I'm going to give you tips and tricks to avoid and explain my backstory so that way you don't go through the same thing, or if you have been through it, you learn how to overcome it and still exceed and do better, right? So go ahead, before I continue, guys, to give you these tips, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, because as usual, I drop heat, no fluff, no BS. I get straight to the point. So, as you guys may not know about me, my name is Jordan. I'm in the tech field, been here for a year. Most of my career has been a little mix of, real estate, a little personally for myself, and finances and, the life insurance industry, right? So most of my mid-20s, I worked jobs, but I always did something on the side. And I did find some success in them, right? But here was the issue. When they say the more money you make, the more problems you have. And that's true, especially being an immigrant, a minority. No one taught me about money. They didn't teach me money. They didn't teach me how to do things better. My parents are immigrants, right? They came to America with probably a middle school education, right? If even that, but they still made it happen for themselves, right? And my goal, I'm here in life to do better than them. Let's be real. That's why I'm here. And that's my goal, I should say, right? But listen to my backstory, guys. So that way you could avoid these issues. Like I said, you started off, I went to college like most people. The only reason I went to college, was because sports. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for sports, I probably wouldn't have, even though I didn't excel in that like I thought I would. But still, that's the only reason I went to school. Just like you, I lived the American dream. They said, go to school, get a job and get a degree. Then you'll you'll retire and do all this great stuff. But that wasn't the reality for most of us, right? And what could have been avoided for some of us too, I'm gonna go into that a little bit later, but that's not the reality, right? So I worked at the bank because I thought that's how I would learn about money, which I did. For me at that time, that's what I needed. Learn about the basis. Okay, why are people doing, what's a HELOC? What's this? Then became a banker. And then from there, I said, man, I want to get a little bit deeper. I want to get into, now I understand money. I've had experiences. I've dealt with a lot of people. Now I said, hey, I need to take my career to the next level. I was like, you know what? Let me try life insurance, right? But let me tell you how I got to that point. Some of you guys might be working jobs that you don't like, right? Or you feel like you're not making what you should be making. And that was me in the financial field, because I was like, man, like I feel like I should be doing more, especially the money that I see, the money that we're helping people move. And I was like, this is all I'm getting out of it. So one day I was very upset. I thought I was just like some of you guys, you love sports. So do I, but I don't let that consume me still. I don't let that consume me. You watch sports, I don't let that consume me, right? But I thought I was, I said, hey, you know how you see some players, if you're a sports fan, if they want to hire a contract, they may not show up for training camp. So I told the job I was at the time, I said, hey, because I told them since the beginning of the year, like, hey, I need to be making more because, hey, we're killing it. Look at our numbers. Look at the district. Look, we're killing it. I need more money. And they're like, yeah, we're going to talk to you about it soon. I'm like, all right. Then one day I just got fed up. I was just fed up. And I said, hey, I'm not coming to work. It's probably not the best thing to do. It's probably not the best thing to do. I was young. I get it. I said, hey, I'm not coming to work tomorrow until you guys pay me. And they're like, yeah, okay. Next day show comes. I didn't go to work. I was sick of it. I was like, and I knew what would happen. I knew I was ready for the consequences. It wasn't the best thing to do. I said, I'm not going to work tomorrow. And I didn't go. Hey, where are you? I said, hey, I'm not coming until you guys pay me. And I was like, I'm not. They're like, so you're not coming at all? I said, no, until you guys pay me. They're like, okay. I didn't hear from them for like 2 days. I'm like, okay. I know, what do you call it? Somebody older than me right now, they're cringing. Like, how can you do that? But yeah, I know, I told you it wasn't the best thing. But anyways, so finally they called me and said, hey, come to the office.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want.
Whatever, we'll talk about your salary wise. Boom. I literally got every single thing that I wanted. Income. I made up some rules that I wanted. They said, yeah, of course. When I left that office that day, I said, hey, I'm not coming back. I just left because I felt like I know what my worth is. And I felt like they were playing games with me. So I was like, you know what? Screw that, man. And it just so happened I had a friend at the time. He was in the life insurance industry. I was like, I need to make more money. He was in the life insurance industry and, talked about the money they made and all that great stuff. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and do that, right? Got in, had some success. I had some success, right? And that's where, like I told you guys before, I've always done things on the side, right? So I was like, you know what, let's do this. I'm gonna go all in. No money saved, no nothing. I'm gonna go all in. I went all in, had some success, right? But the industry, I did this because one, I wanted to learn about money as well, and take my finances to the next level, But the company probably wasn't the best suit for me overall, what I was trying to do. I always had a goal in mind. That was to get my money, invest into some real estate. At the time, that was my thinking. And then retire, do all that good stuff, right? But this company, I'm gonna be real, it was an MLM company. They like to front, it's not, it's an MLM company. You don't get paid for recruiting or whatnot, but people push recruiting and they claim that's a business, right? And I had some business backing because I have friends at this point in my life, their family and them had some successful businesses. So I've been around that. So I know what business is like. So when I got in the field, it was weird for me to see that people were talking about, yeah, we have a business. And it's like, yo, you're just recruiting people who are barely making any money. Yeah, you might make 100, but at the end of the day, it's not sustainable because you don't really have a business model really going on. And then I didn't like how they like to down talk people. This is where I say I played a part in that economy, what's going on right now. They played a part with, oh, you work a job, you're a bum, this, you're a slave. You let another man tell you what your wife, what they can and can't do. Meanwhile, these people are not even making six figures. They don't even have a successful business. They've been in it for 5-10 years and not even crossing six figures. But yeah, they're down talking people. I was like, that's not me. And that was never a comfortable part for me in it. And it's not a regret I have in my life. I'm just being real with you guys, but that's something that I didn't always feel proud of working in. So I said, hey, let me make my money and then get out. So I had some success, ended up moving to Pittsburgh because I was like, man, housing is cheap. At the time, I did a little bit of wholesale and used some of the money that I also had to start investing in real estate. And so real estate, yeah, I had some success. I still do have some success with it, but I felt like I was over leveraged with debt, especially at this point now we're in COVID. COVID literally is starting up and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm over leveraged, right? And just like you, some of you guys, I know I'm going on a little rant, but listen to my story. It's going somewhere, guys. So go ahead and subscribe if you're still here, and I appreciate you for being on and like this because it's going to be valuable at the end, right? So being in COVID during this time, and this is the wave of everybody's being an entrepreneur now. Everybody wants to do this. Oh, don't work for nobody. Just start a business. Buy my course. You'll make 100,000 in 90 days. So you see all this coming in, right? And in reality, most of these people who are talking like that, they didn't have no right being in business like that in the first place, and they don't understand how it works, because that's why some of them are missing now. I'm not trying to talk crap about people, and I'm sorry if that might be you, you're at the right place too, because I'll show you a way how to get out of that, right? So that was always a thing. So even being in the life insurance field, some people weren't making money. They wanted to say they're full-time, because that's what they force people to say they're full-time, even though they only made $3,000 that year. They were full-time, right? And a lot of them were secretly working jobs because they were afraid of what people were going to say. Think about that. You're so afraid of what people are going to say that you're hiding working a job just to say you're an entrepreneur. Isn't that backwards? You have a family to feed. Forget what people are saying. This is the solution, guys. I explained my story briefly of what I went through. I was bad. Once again, throughout this journey, I was bad with money until the point I moved up to Pittsburgh, to be honest. That's when I started looking at money differently. I was surrounded by different people. I was actually, I had friends who are successful and things of that nature, but I was surrounded by people who had some real estate success, had some other business success. So now my eyes are turned, and tech. This is where I got introduced to tech. I've always wanted to be in tech, but I had a teacher who told me you had to be an engineer. Since my math scores weren't the best, they said, hey, you can't do that. Well, that's what they said, right? So I was like, oh, okay, shit, I guess they're right.
They didn't believe in us. God did.
So during my time at Florida State, let's give Florida State a shout out, Seminole. During my time at Florida State, I had a professor who also introduced me to tech, a hub of like tech. So tech hubs are usually where, influx of tech people are and things of that nature. So he introduced me in Tallahassee. That opened my eyes. Think about that. That was always in the back of my head. Like, hey, tech, that's always in the back of my mind. So at this time, this is COVID, and I got hit hard mentally. I know most people don't talk about this, but mentally, I think it's my first time in my life that I actually, I guess experienced what depression and all that was, mixed with the weather being dark, COVID, rioting. It was just a lot all at once, and it hit me late. So I ended up going back to Orlando. I wasn't really working, and I was just like, man, what am I going to do? So I came across a video of Anthony O'Neill with Cyrus. They talking about being in tech and how he started a tech boot camp. He took a tech boot camp, and that's how he got into tech. No experience, no degree required. I was like, yeah, okay. So I did my research, literally like within a day, and I was like, I was like, dang, screw it. Let me go ahead and try it out. So I did it. I completed it in like 2 weeks. Like I said, I had sales experience, had business experience. So I was like, hey, I'm good with people. I know how to interview. I know how to talk to people. So I finished it so fast. I finished it quickly, but I ended up having to go back because I did not know how to interview properly, right? Or talk the language properly. So I went back, redid it. Then now, this time around, I was succeeding at the first round of interviews, understanding how to answer that about me properly. And then at this point, I accumulated over 10 plus offers, right? Course careers, the link is in my description about it. I took the tech sales. There's other non-selling routes. There's UX, UI, digital marketing, customer success. Click the link, learn about it. If you click the link that I have, you're going to get $50 off if you decide to move forward with it. But you do get the free intro course with my link, which is intro. So it gives you a little intro to it before you decide if you want to move forward with it or not, right? So I had found success with that because I was able to get the jobs. I learned how to talk better. I learned how to get my money and what I'm worth, right? So with that being said, that was a game changer for me. A life changer in a short amount of time. And sometimes you say, hey, I wish I would have learned this sooner. But I always go back to this. Would we have been in that right mindset? If this came across me 4 years ago, would I have even approached it correctly? Maybe not. That's why I say we are where we're at for a reason. And this is what this channel does. And I'm going to start talking more about money too, because being in tech, you can make a whole great deal of money. They talk about 6 figures. It's very feasible. Some people might make it their first year, but most are going to experience it their second year and on. But salary ranges start off in the 60, 70 range. And if you look at the average income in your area, I'm sure it starts off more than that. And you have the potential, like I said, to make 6 figures your second year and up, depending on how you maneuver correctly, which I go into detail in past videos, and I'm going to do it more on how to do that and succeed and get your money's worth in tech. But let me tell you guys this, man. The tech bootcamp was life-changing. Screwed what everybody said about working your job, because I was being in tech a short amount of time. I developed things I never thought I would develop. Succeeding in my roles, working for the great company, the benefits, work from home, And if you learn how to properly manage your time, it won't feel like you're working all the time, even though you are. It's about time management, and a lot of us lack that. I lack that at one point too. When I say things, I'm not better than you guys, right? This channel is to motivate people. It's to show people mistakes to avoid and how to overcome them. And I think tech is a way, and maybe tech may not be for you, but just being here and listening to the mindset alone will help you discover what you're trying to do. And that's the whole point, guys. I want to educate people. Screw what people are talking about. Oh, you work a job. But these people the people who are so focused on you on that, they're not making any money. I could tell you that. I can name a lot of people who are not making money. I'm not trying to aim at anybody, but if the shoe fits, it fits. That is what it is. That's the uncomfortable part, because I was there too. I made it seem like I was doing more than what I was at times too, which was lame. It was lame as heck. And I'm not going back to those days. Now, my mission is to help bring somebody up along with me, or teach you a skill. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for your cousin. Maybe it's for your spouse. Maybe, somebody else comes. Maybe it's for your son. Maybe it's for your daughter. Or lots of people watch this channel. So I leave you guys with that today. Learn about my backstory, why I'm here, why I'm looking to help you guys. If you want to connect with me, ask me questions, click the link in my description. It'll take you straight to my social media platforms, all that great stuff, so you can reach out to me, guys. Now, if you found this valuable, share it with somebody. I want you guys to like, subscribe to the channel, because there's more coming, so that way we can avoid the circumstances that we're in, because we're in a recession now, right, guys? And we have to make more money. We have to outpace what's going on in this world, so that way we're not constantly making these TikTok videos about being broke and all that stuff. I get it. It's hard. It's difficult. I get it. I totally understand. But what's the solution? That's the point we have to come across. We got to find a solution. Complaining is great. It's not great. I'm going to be real, because once you complain with no solution, you're just standing around in circles, guys. The government's not going to save us. If you don't come from a wealthy backbone, your family's not going to save you either. It's what you are going to do for you and your future family, or your family now, guys.